this is what I want you to do. Stand here. And now, open your feet, turn this one out a little bit, put a little weight here. Now stretch your arms out like this. This one's making a hook, and this one's, okay, now, pretty good form, huh? Oh yeah, you did. Now drop your elbows a bit. Now. Hold your arm here. When I push you, I want you to resist. Okay? That's pretty good. Now, this time when I push, I want you to push here, but I want you to push out with that arm equally. It's a complete different feeling for me.
Yeah.
Much stronger. If she only pushes out with this arm, just drop that other arm. If she only, that's not balance. She's only using half of her body here. But if she puts the other arm out, and now, as much as you push out here, you push out there. At the same time, sink both elbows. It's very strong. Anybody who can do this would feel her. She's not the biggest person in this room, but she's not weak. But the difference in what I just felt is very different. So, if the attack comes here, this one has to balance it. You see? So, the form teaches us now, obviously you don't do this in a fight. Go ahead, attack me. You know, that's ridiculous. You know, it's like bad kung fu movies. But, look, I'll give you another example. If I punch, right? What's this hand doing? Is it just staying there? No. If this elbow goes forward, this one has to go back. Now that's balance, right? If this one comes forward, this one comes back. I don't just punch with this hand. You know, the Tai Chi punch is from here, right? This elbow goes out, this one comes back. So there's a force and there's a force. They balance each other. The knees compress. We're not getting into all this today because when we do a little circling again, but you see the knees are either opening or closing. They're not both going like that. I call that the elbow screw. They're either closing or opening. Why? Because if they both go this way, I'm falling. If they both go this way, I'm falling. If I'm using this leg for force, then this one has to be a brake. So actually, there's a giant spring here. I'm pressing that spring closed. Does that make sense? So all these things are happening at the same time. It's like a very fine watch. You have all these gears, and they're all working synchronously, perfectly in sync. So through the form, we learn how to do this. We learn how to move every part of the body. We're not just waving our arms around. The lower body is more important, and this is the part we really focus on. So now today is, again, limited time. We can't do everything in one day, but just I'm giving you some ideas. So this exercise we just did, because Eugene brought up a really important point. You got to understand Taiji's definition of soft. You saw it. It's not weak. It's not collapse. They're two different words. Okay? So that softness, we focus on the softness. Why? Because we have so much hardness. So we want to balance that out. So we're too much yang, not enough yin. So we want it to be equal. That's what training does over a period of time.
Actually, you are learning to use their energy against them.
Your own energy?
You're using their energy against them.
Okay, it's one way of saying it, but another way that I like to say it better is, it's correct what you're saying, but the way I like to say it is, okay, you're not focused on the other person's force. You're focused on keeping your own balance. You see, when I did that, it was balanced, right? It didn't feel strong to you, it felt strong to me. She wasn't focusing so much on me pushing anymore as she was about balancing that. I kind of tricked her, okay? Now you'll never forget it, right? Because you felt it. As soon as you feel it, you'll never forget it. And your skill will improve where you can't go back to doing it the old way, whatever the old way was. But the way we have a saying, okay? And this is really important. Never try to control anything outside of yourself. When you do, you're out of balance. Now, this is in fighting and this is in daily life. How many times a day, and everyone chuckles when I say this, how many times a day do you try to control another person somehow? Think about it. You know what's a real good way to control people? Be angry with them. You ever have someone angry at you? They're in control, aren't they? Unless you don't let them be in control. So here's the deal, now that I'm on this subject. When I stand like this, what we did in the beginning where you close your eyes and you don't think about anything, now that's Wuji. We have Taiji and we have Wuji. Wuji means extreme nothingness. Taiji means supreme extreme. Okay, they're opposites in a sense. So everything comes, we say we have movement, we have stillness. Movement comes from stillness and it goes back to stillness. This is the Tai Chi maxim, right? So when I stand in Wu Ji, I'm balanced. I don't need to move. Like you put an apple on a scale, right? When it's in balance, it stops moving. Balance is still. The only reason it moves is to achieve balance. So that balance is Wu Ji. So the Tai Chi movement is that movement to achieve balance. So if I stand here and I'm in Wu Ji, and whatever position I'm in, and if I feel comfortable, now somebody tries to push me, an outside force. Now I don't feel comfortable anymore. So there's a couple ways I can deal with that. One, I can try and control that outside force. Now, that person that's pushing me, he's trying to control me. So we'll go back to that first principle. He's out of balance because he's trying to control me. If I try to control him controlling me, we're both out of balance. So rather than focus on that person attacking me, I say, well, you know, I feel this pressure here. It doesn't feel good. I forget about that person. I go, well, what do I need to do to go back to a state of balance? Well, if I relax and let this down, you know, my body turns over here, and then his force goes out, and now I went from here and to here, and I'm balanced again. I don't need to move anymore. That's a basic principle. Now we can extend that to all these movements and show examples of that. But this is the concept. This is the idea. This is the principle. Control yourself. You know Tao Te Ching. To control another person requires force. Control yourself requires real strength. So which do we want to do? We can spend our whole lives trying to control other people. So this is where Tai Chi, we go into daily life. This is what it's about. Okay? How do we act in daily life? How do we treat other people? Remember the movie, The Karate Kid, The Good School and the Bad School? I bring that up a lot because I like that movie when it came out in the 80s, I guess, because it makes a point. Yeah, it's a silly Hollywood movie, but you know, there's the good school and the bad school. The bad school, all they focus on is punching and attacking. The good school focuses on balance. You know, you yield to the attack. You don't attack first. Funakoshi said that. There's no first attack in karate, right? There's no first attack. You never attack first. So all of the forms in karate, they start with a block, right? There's a reason for that.
Some say the blocks are very strong and they're attacking themselves.
They can be strong, they can be deflecting, they can be a lot of ways.